depending on the entrepreneur I'm speaking to, there's certain entrepreneurs I would speak to who will be at that level, and I would say, listen, the more the merrier, right? Because even if you don't need it right now, it's better to get access to capital when you want it versus when you need it. Some business owners make the mistake of getting access to capital when things is red and they need that extra excess capital to kind of keep the ship afloat. And at that time, you may not be as favorable in the eyes of the banks depending on how you're approaching the funding process. So for certain business owners that are where you're talking about, if they're responsible and, they're good with how they handle their financials overall, and I know they're not going to go splurge the money that they get access to, I would say there is no limit. You want to get access to as much capital as possible because better to have than not need versus need and not have. Flip, I've met business owners that are exactly where you talk about, and a lot of them are, I would tell them like, hey, I think you kind of got to get certain things in order first before you even start thinking about getting access to capital. Because once again, we live in this social media age right now where we're consuming all this content about 50 to 100,000 and 50 to 100,000. And a lot of people are simply just going and getting access to capital and don't even know what they're going to use it for or why they need it. I remember one time I was speaking with a business owner, and I'll never forget this. It was like a consultation, and we got on a call. I was like, okay, give me a little bit more about your situation. She was like, I want to get access to $100,000 in business credit. And I was like, okay. Awesome. What do you want to use it for? He's just like, well, I want to use it to start my candle company. And I'm like, okay, I don't know much about candle companies, but I don't think you need $100,000 to start an e-commerce store. And it really made me stop and think, because once again, we're in this age where people are consuming so much information to where it's just like they attach themselves to that number to where they don't even know the financials of their business. Most business owners, if you have $25,000 to $50,000 in access to capital, that's more than enough, whether you want to use it to just maintain your operating expenses, whether you want to use it to make a key hire, whether you want to use it to, run a marketing campaign. A lot of business owners probably would be better off, kind of staying in a much more moderate rate of that 25 to 50,000 versus over leveraging themselves, getting access to 50 to 100,000 that they don't even know what they need it for.
Yeah. Now
they feel pressured to use it because they have this 0% interest period, right? They go and spend the money on things they didn't need. And now they look up, the business is in the red, things aren't going the way it needs to go, and we're having a much different conversation. So that would be my overall insight in regards to that.
Yeah. So do you have the conversations with people that have gotten in too much debt? I do think in this day and age, with access to information, you can literally go out and get $100,000. What happens when an entrepreneur gets to that place where, maybe they can't make payroll, or they can't make the monthly payments? What does that process look like for somebody that's, trying to stay afloat?
So they ended up in debt.
Because what I'm seeing now
Yeah.
is people have a lot of debt. Cash flow is slowing.
Yep.
And therefore, credit might be getting a little tarnished. And these companies are cutting limits.
Yes, ma'am.
So
Absolutely.
What do we do? How do we pivot? How do we get more access to different capital other than credit cards that can help keep us afloat?
That's an interesting question. I don't know if I've run into too many situations like that, because one of the things that I do within my firm, like, we don't even bring people through the funding process unless, number one, we vet your business, right? So when we bring people into our firm, we literally look at everything. So we're looking at their personal financials. We're looking at your business financials. Number one, to see how much we can get you access to. But number two, to see if you're even ready to get access to funding. Like, I've had people that have come to me and just like, I want to get, like, I'm ready. Everything's in order. But I do a deeper dive into the business. I'm like, if we give you access to this funding, I'm not trying to have you come back here 4 to 6 months ago and like, hey, what happened? I'm $40,000 up to my neck. What do I do next? Those are not the kind of conversations that I want to have.
Yeah.
So on our end, the first thing that we're doing is auditing these businesses to see if they're even capital ready, which kind of goes back to the point I made before. And to your point, most businesses that are finding themselves in that situation probably didn't do the due diligence of sitting down and figuring out, how much do I need? What can I do if things go awry and I need to pay this money back? Because like we said earlier, it's still debt. Yeah. Like, this $25,000 is not $25,000. It's not a grant. Like, if you borrow it, you finna have to pay this thing back. You understand? So what I typically tell people before they get to that situation is making sure that you have a plan. Like, in my business, if I'm borrowing $25K, before rain, sleet, hail, snow, I know I can pay that $25K back.
Yeah.
There's no ifs, ands, or buts about it. So I don't know what I can say to people that already found themselves in that situation. Call for help. Now I'm playing up. But in all seriousness, for people who aren't in that situation and are thinking about getting access to funding, use those individuals as an example to say, like, all right, cool. what do I need to make sure I have in place to make sure whether I borrow $5,000 or $50,000, I'm going to be able to, number one, pay this debt back, and number two, be prepared for whether things go really, really good or really, really bad. Because not all investments are going to work out the way you think they're going to work out.
Hey, family, hope you enjoyed that clip. And real quick before you go, for any business owners who are watching this that are looking to access business capital and want to do it the right way, my company, Takeoff Financial, can help. Takeoff Financial is a done-for-you service where we analyze your business the exact way that an underwriter would. We build you a custom capital path around your specific profile and connect you with the right lenders for your situation. Qualify, position, and access. So if you want to learn more to see if you qualify, there's going to be a link in the description below where you can click it, watch a short video, fill out a